Welcome back to another video. In my last video, I talked about the 5 types of buyers that you should avoid at all costs. Today, we're going to talk about the flip side of that coin. They ask questions about things that they don't understand. The worst thing that you could possibly have as a real estate agent is a buyer who doesn't ask any questions. Now, this goes along with being a good communicator, but you want someone who is responsive, who gets back to you in a timely manner, who is easy to get a hold of when you need them. This goes a long way in making the transaction go smoothly, because you never know when things are going to fall through, or when things are going to change, or when you're going to need to get in contact with your buyer. So if your buyer is unresponsive and hard to get a hold of, that's a red flag. If you're ever working with a buyer and you feel like they have all of these characteristics, chances are you're going to have a really good transaction on your hands. So keep that in mind the next time you're out there showing properties. And honestly, that's a huge reason why transactions fall through. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below or shoot me an email. I look forward to hearing from you. See you next time. So do your best to try to avoid those buyers at all costs. That's a recipe for disaster. You want someone who is going to ask questions not only about the property, but also about the transaction itself. This means that they have their ducks in a row as far as their financing goes. They're going to trust you, the real estate agent, to lead them through this process. They're going to trust that you have their best interest at heart, and that you're going to look out for them. It's very important that you maintain that trust throughout the entire transaction. If they ever feel like you're trying to force them to buy something that they don't want, or that you're trying to push them into a certain neighborhood or a certain house, they're going to feel like you're not trustworthy, and that's going to ruin the entire transaction. So keep that in mind and always make sure that you're doing what's best for your buyer. They know how much house they can afford. They know what their payments are going to be. They have a pre-approval letter. They have a large enough down payment to make the transaction happen. They have their credit score in order. All of these things are things that a good buyer has taken care of before they start looking at houses. Now, if you have a buyer who comes to you and they have taken care of all of these things, that's okay. You can certainly help walk them through it. But a good buyer is going to have most of these things in order before they start looking at houses. If a buyer doesn't seem to understand something, or they don't know something, take it as your responsibility as the real estate agent to explain it to them so that they do understand it. Don't assume that they know the same things that you know. Remember that they're trusting you to lead them through this process. So make sure that they're asking questions, and if they're not asking questions, make sure that you re-asking them questions to find out exactly what it is that they want and what it is that they need. This is probably the most important quality of a good buyer. Let's say you re-showing a house and you point out something that's really cool in the home. Maybe it's a fireplace, maybe it's a view, maybe it's a really cool architectural feature of the home. If the buyer doesn't notice that and they don't ask any follow-up questions about it, chances are they're not really interested in the property. But if they do notice it and they do have follow-up questions about it, then they're likely going to be a really good buyer to work with, because they're paying attention. When you're out there showing properties with a buyer, you should always be on the lookout for what they're paying attention to, what they're asking about and what they're not asking about. It will tell you a lot about what their likes and dislikes are. And if you pay attention to those details, you can really cater the rest of the home search to those likes and dislikes. We're going to talk about what makes a good buyer. Now, if you're a new real estate agent, or you just want a refresher on what a good transaction looks like, this video is for you. So let's dive right in. 1. A keen observer. A good buyer is a keen observer, meaning they pay attention to every little detail. They notice things. They see things. 2. A good question asker. Along with being a keen observer, a good buyer is also going to be a good question asker, easy to reach. A good buyer is also going to be easy to reach. Financially prepared. A good buyer is also going to be financially prepared. Trusting. Finally, a good buyer is going to be trusting. So there you have it, the characteristics of a good buyer. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe so you never miss an upload. I post new videos every single week.